5 Minutes with Max is filmed before a live studio audience.
What is up, Hill City Youth?
Woo woo!
We are back with another episode of up to 5 minutes with Max.
Don't shortchange us a minute!
I'll try not to. It's going to be tough. I'm kind of tired, and I am flying to Utah tomorrow morning to celebrate the 4th of July with some family. Who else is excited about the 4th of July?
We are!
What does the 4th of July represent? Well, it actually represents our secession from the United Kingdom or Britain.
All hail the Queen!
Whatever they want to call us. Actually, it was King George at the time.
All hail King George!
Yeah, except we didn't like that guy. So we took our own country away from the British. Now, why is this important? Why are we talking about independence? Well, in the Bible, there's another story about independence from secession of slavery from the Egyptians. Let's start off. A boy is born to a Levite family. When he was born, his parents had this either this feeling or this idea that their son was going to grow up to be great, do great things. But they were not allowed to have male children at the time. So what did they do? They took their son, they put him in a basket and floated him down the river.
Hide him under a bushel. No! I'm gonna put him in a basket.
Oh, we're going to put him in a basket. And he survived crocodiles and all this stuff. Actually, the Bible doesn't tell us that. I'm embellishing a little bit. But it does tell us that the Pharaoh's daughter at the time found him and raised him as her own. Well, later on in this boy's life, he grew older, but then he started to realize that he wasn't actually Egyptian. He was an Israelite or a Levite at the time. And because of this, he decided to, kind of run away. During his self-exile, he found this bush in the wilderness.
You're on fire!
It was on fire. And actually, the fire was actually God, and God was speaking to Moses at this time, giving him instructions on how he would later help the Israelites become free of the slavery that they were being held by the Egyptians. I cannot speak right now. Anyway, so Moses goes back to Egypt after his exile and decides to, using God's help, so God using Moses, God uses things like called the plagues. Probably have heard of them. Plagues are used a lot nowadays as things like the bubonic plague, things like that. But back then, God would send his plagues through Moses or Moses's follower Aaron. Now, through Aaron and Moses, God used plagues like blood in the river, made the river's waters turn to blood. He put out plagues of frogs, lots of flies, pestilence, which is this idea where the livestock and all of the domesticated animals die, and then they fall, and then they can't eat and have no way of getting food. All the way up until like darkness and locusts. And then all of a sudden, God used during the Passover, killed a bunch of children if they weren't of Israelite families. Then the Israelites escaped, and they were running through the Red Sea that Moses had just parted. And after they got to the other side, the Red Sea splashed down and wiped out the Pharaoh's armies. Why is this important? Why did God kill all these people? If everyone is of God's creation, why did he do this? He did this to fulfill the covenant that we talked about last week. The covenant of that Abraham's ancestors would have land and be free and have their own land. And this is being partially fulfilled and will be later fulfilled again through Jesus Christ, and we'll get to that. But this covenant was partially fulfilled during this promise that God's keeping. And to do that, he had to kill a bunch of people. So that's going to be it for this week's up to 5 minutes with Max. I actually gave you a little bit of extra this time, so can't get mad at me.
I can do whatever I want, Max.
So, till next week, high five.
Wait, try that again.
Ah, perfect. See you next week.